Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Craig Greenberg For Mayor press conference where several Metro Council members are expected to endorse the candidate. Getting started in just a moment.
Hey, beautiful. How are you? Doing good. Looking gorgeous. No, I do what I can for the people at home.
Check 1, 2. Everybody got audio? Check 1, 2. Take your time. Tara, is your mic working?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
WOKY? You guys got audio? All right. Dave, good?
Give me a thumbs up if you guys are getting good sound. Comments if you're getting good sound, you guys. Give me a couple comments. A couple good comments if you're getting good sound, you guys. Looks like we have Nicole George, Cassie Armstrong, David James, and Keisha Dorsey on site. Can you hear good? Thanks, Joy. I appreciate that so much. All right. Here we go. Thank you, Destiny.
Already observed. You said communication, I'm just responding. Hello.
We have a little singing here by Metro Council members this morning, guys.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you all so much for being here. Really do appreciate y'all coming out and helping us cover such an important and credible announcement this morning. I am Barbara Sexton-Smith, campaign chair to elect Craig Greenberg, the next mayor of Louisville, Kentucky. And I am also the former Louisville Metro Councilwoman, which represented District 4. So today's announcement represents the most significant endorsements to date in the Democratic primary of the Democrats here in Louisville for our next mayor. And several of those folks have joined me today, and a couple more might be joining us shortly. So stay tuned. So as the former Metro Councilwoman, I came out in full support, 100% endorsing and supporting Craig Greenberg for the next mayor of Louisville. And the reason I did that is because my 4 years serving on Metro Council, I learned a number of things. But one thing that I saw first and foremost is that the mayor cannot do anything by themselves. The Metro Council cannot do things without the administration working with them. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Why are these elected officials standing here with me this morning so excited to tell you all they're endorsing Craig Greenberg? I'm going to bring them up one at a time, and they're going to share that with you. Our local Metro Council President, David James, could not be with us today, and as everyone knows, he was the first to come out last year early on in full support of Craig Greenberg. And David James has always said, Louisville needs Craig Greenberg to be the next mayor, and nobody knows better than Council President David James why he needs to have a mayor in the office, organizing the administration, that is someone who will, the mayor needs to pick up the phone and call the council president. The mayor needs to pick up the phone and call the council members. And the mayor needs to be willing to sit down around the table with council members, regardless of the party that they represent, and work through these critical issues together. So Councilman David James sends his regrets. However, with us this morning is his lovely wife, Michelle James. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today. Michelle is always showing up, not only to support President a change in his role, but she's been showing up every week to support Craig Greenberg. So now we're going to hear from several folks. First, we'll get to hear from Councilwoman Keisha Dorsey, then Councilwoman Cassie Chambers Armstrong. Councilman Marcus Winkler will appear at some point. Stay tuned. And also Councilwoman Nicole George. Endorsing Craig Greenberg for mayor is also Councilwoman Donna Purvis. She could not be with us today. She's saving her remarks for another day. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Councilwoman Keisha Dorsey, and then each will come up and reintroduce themselves one at a time. Thank you. Councilwoman?
I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Craig for inviting me here. I don't know what he's gotten himself into. I don't know if he knows what he's gotten himself into. And thank you to Councilwoman, my still Councilwoman, Barbara Sexton-Smith. You all don't know this, but she was my mentor my first year on council. So when I got there, can you imagine what a Keisha and Barbara conversation looked like? All right, so I'm really here today to kind of speak frank. I think you all know that about me. When Craig reached out to me, it was actually in the middle of a crisis. We had had our issues with Algonquin Pool, and I get a phone call from a number I don't know, and I answer it because I'm a council person. And it's Craig Greenberg, and he says, I'm interested in what's going on with the pool. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? And I say, sure. Can you meet me? And he says, sure. And that's the first thing that pops in my head when we think about a mayor. Not only did he see an issue on TV, but unlike so many of us, when we see it on the news, we continue to have that conversation over the kitchen table. We talk about what's wrong, what's injustice. We talk about what's not right, but we talk about it amongst each other. Craig Greenberg picked up the phone and called me. Not only did he call me, but he showed up. Not only did he show up, but he made a commitment right then and there to that area. When we think about what an endorsement means, it means to sign on to. To sign on to in the context of a political candidate really means to hold accountable. So oftentimes when people see us endorsing people, they think, oh, well, that's a rubber stamp. That's a green light. We're giving him permission to do whatever. I tell you, the young women that stand behind me today are not that. Every single one of these women that I work with, that's iron. We are here today to ensure equity for the city. We are here today to ensure opportunity, to ensure liberty. We will work with Craig in order to make sure that this city moves forward with equity, with justice, liberty for every single resident of the city. Robert talked about partnership in the mayor's office, and every single day we sit in that council office, even up till yesterday, I had to make phone calls and have conversations with our residents to explain the difference between the legislative and the administrative branch, because things were not getting done. And those residents told me I could not get in touch with my mayor. You are my next option. And even though there's very little that I can do, I still took the time to have that conversation with those residents. When Craig ran through District 3, he took the time to have those conversations with those residents. So I tell you today, you all, this is not just about an endorsement, a rubber stamp, or a green light. This is about holding someone accountable, partnering together, showing up in this community, and working together on true solutions. This isn't about City Hall and sitting at a comfortable desk and nice furniture. It's about putting on your running shoes, hitting the pavement, and getting things done in this community. So today, when I say I endorse Craig Greenberg, that means I stand with him. I will hold him accountable when he's not right. I will rally with him when he is right. And we will continue as a team together in this community to push Louisville forward. I ask that you get your shoes on, get on the sidewalk, hit the pavement, and run with us. This is not a game. Our city is in crisis, and we are here today as iron sharpens iron, as one team. It is time to move Louisville forward under one city, equity, justice for all. Run with us.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Cassie Chambers Armstrong. I'm the Metro Council representative for District 8. After Councilwoman Dorsey's speech, I need to go get out of these and go up to the speakers and start running. since he announced over the past several months. And here's what's impressed me about Craig and about his candidacy. Craig studies issues not just intellectually, not just on paper, but by experiencing them in the community. He's walked Bardstown Road with me. He's walked with numerous other groups. About once a week, I hear from someone who says, hey, I met with Craig, and I showed him this, and he showed up in my community, and we had a great conversation. In these experiences, Craig takes notes, he asks questions, and he follows up. And that's the kind of leadership that Louisville needs right now. Louisville needs a leader that will learn from residents, someone who is hands-on in the community and will show up to experience problems firsthand, and someone who will listen to every voice in every part of our community. That's what Craig has done as a candidate. That's what I know that he will do as the next mayor of Louisville. On childcare in particular, Craig's leadership has impressed me. He's committed to prioritizing access to preschool and to affordable childcare for families in our community. As part of a dialogue, he has listened to my ideas, he's offered feedback, and he is engaged in dialogue. As Councilwoman Dorsey just said, the legislative branch and the executive branch, neither of us can do anything alone. We have to have that kind of dialogue. We have to work together to solve these key critical issues that are facing our city right now. That's the kind of conversation that we need our different branches of government to be having. And it's a conversation that I look forward to having with Craig when he's the next mayor of Louisville. And so today, I am proud to add my voice to the people standing behind me, the many council representatives who are putting our faith in Craig Greenberg and in the fact that he's the right leader for our city at this moment in time. It's a real honor to be a part of this team, and I'm looking forward to working with Craig once he is elected. Thank you all.
Good morning. I'm Nicole George, serve District 21, and it's hard to come behind so many powerful words, such strong endorsement for Craig. As a candidate, I've had an opportunity to really see him run countless precincts, really getting to know our neighborhoods. You're going to hear a theme with some of this today, which is really around taking the time, getting to know, ask the right questions. I've seen Craig take the time to meet with anyone who's willing to help him better understand their experience in our community and their experience working in Metro. These characteristics make him a strong candidate, for sure. But it's also what makes him the right choice for mayor, having discipline, perseverance, and humility. It also doesn't hurt that Craig is a fighting spirit, and as a partner in Ohio Valley Wrestling, that gives him automatic credibility in some of the neighborhoods that I serve. We need that fighting spirit at City Hall, and for that reason, I'm honored to endorse Craig.
Thank you all so much. It is so humbling to have to follow the three of you all who are amazing city leaders and city servants. And what you all have done for the city and continue to do is really something I aspire to do. And so thank you all so much for your leadership and everything that you have done. Thank you for your endorsement today. It truly is humbling and honoring. Also, a giant thanks, as Barbara mentioned, to Council President David James, who is out of town today working on a very important issue facing our city in trying to improve our affordable housing issues in this community. And Michelle, thank you so much for being here to represent David. You and David have been so important to our campaign and have also become such great friends of Rachel and I. Thank you so much. Also, a giant thanks to Councilwoman Donna Purvis. Donna is a substitute teacher as well. And many of you know that right now in Jefferson County Public Schools, we're dealing with a critical substitute teaching shortage. And so Donna felt it was important, and I totally agree, that the need to be in the classroom far outweighs any political endorsement. And so a giant thanks to Councilwoman Purvis for her support of my campaign, but more importantly for what she's doing in this community as a councilwoman and also as a teacher of our youth. And finally, to Councilman Marcus Winkler, who we hope will still join us, but like all of the city council people, Marcus has a day job, and when you get thrown a curveball, he had an emergency that he needed to deal with there, and so he's trying to wrap that up to get here. But I think that is just reflective of all 6 of these members of City Council of the commitment they have to our city. And while they have really 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs, even though the City Council is not paid as a full-time job, everyone behind me today treats it as a full-time plus job. Their entire commitment is to this city, and all of us in Louisville, all of them and all of their colleagues on Metro Council, a giant thanks. It's really been great to get to know Keisha and Nicole and Cassie and Marcus and Donna and David over the course of the past year better. I've been in their homes, they've been in mine. As they mentioned earlier today, we've had a chance to run or walk together to get to know the neighborhoods that they serve. And really the endorsements here today to me are so important for 3 giant reasons. First, these 6 council members represent a significant portion of the Metro Council Democratic Caucus. But more importantly, they also represent neighborhoods all over Louisville, including Shively, Russell, Butrell, Old Louisville, Linden, the Highlands, Beachmont, Anchorage, and Middletown. My friends on Metro Council who are endorsing me today are more importantly reflective of our entire city, and they're reflective of the type of administration that I plan to have as mayor of Louisville. An administration that is diverse in age, gender, race, geography, professional, and life experiences. Because to me, that diversity creates a better team. A team where collectively we can all work together to solve Louisville's problems, to implement solutions quickly, and get things done. Second, these endorsements are so important because I plan to have an incredibly close working relationship with the Metro Council. A relationship that unfortunately, I don't think this city has seen in many years, but a relationship that is critical to the success of our city. Our city will thrive when our mayor and Metro Council work closely together and we can achieve so much more. I plan to be a collaborative mayor who listens and welcomes input from everyone, not just from those on Metro Council who are endorsing me today, but everyone, regardless of political party. We're going to build a safer, stronger, and healthier Louisville, and I'm going to work every day with the members of Metro Council to make that happen. And third, today's endorsement is so important because it's reflective of the great momentum in our campaign. Right now, we're under 100 days until the May 17th primary election. And working together with my friends here on Metro Council, we're well prepared to win this election, to win in November, and immediately get to work to implement solutions to the big challenges we currently face in Louisville. So thank you all so much for your endorsement and support. And Councilwoman Dorsey, as you said, I think it's critically important that an endorsement just doesn't mean blind support. It means holding somebody accountable. And to me, if you're going to be mayor, you must be transparent and accountable. And I expect all of you to hold me accountable as I expect the entire city to do as mayor. So thank you all very much. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it very much. And happy to take any questions that you all have.
So Tim Finley's calling into question the endorsements of the council members, saying that apparently there was some indication that some council members were not endorsing this primary. Any response?
All right, well, thank you for that question. It's been called into question that some of the council members may or may not endorse during the primary, and that is an individual personal decision. As a former elected official, I would like to say that each individual council member will choose whether to endorse or not to endorse. It is not written anywhere what is the correct way or incorrect way to do that. So I am thrilled and honored that we have got 3 standing with us today, Craig, and we got 2 more in the wings. That would be Donna and Marcus. And we do not know yet that there will be others who will follow. We welcome everybody to join the Craig Greenberg for Mayor campaign, whether you're an elected official or not. We are looking for many endorsements and several of the major unions have already endorsed Craig. You all know that. I know that the firefighters have endorsed Craig, as well as LIUNA, that's our laborers union international, as well as our service employees union, and I believe many more will be following.
So I just want to say, as a council member, I take really seriously anyone who's running for office who says, hey, Nicole, I want to learn more about your neighborhoods. I want to meet and hear what you see as community needs. And so I did that. Anybody who individually reached out to me and said, hey, I want to learn more. I want to hear from you. I took the time to meet with them. I did not make any assurances to anyone before the end of the year. And so I think that's really important to know. And I can't speak for my other colleagues, but I would say all of us are interested in meeting with people that help us better educate and understand, like, most elected or most people running for office will continue to serve in our community in some way or another. And so it's really important that we continue to build that connection in our community and we take that seriously.
I want to address that too. So yesterday at the McGarvey endorsement, John said something very powerful. John Yarmouth said, if you all remember, he said he wasn't going to endorse anyone but his son. And he chose yesterday to endorse Morgan McGarvey. And somebody said, why? And he said, well, because I feel like he's the best person for the job. When we are in these roles, before I was Councilwoman Dorsey, I was Keisha. I did not see politicians show up in District 3. I did not see them show up at my house. I did not see them show up in Shiloh. When I see someone who is ready to hit the ground, who can keep their commitment, who will show up, I will endorse. It is not about Keisha today. It's not about Cassie Chambers Armstrong. It is not about Nicole George. We are women about our constituency. Our time in City Hall proves it. Our time in the community proves it. Our thought leadership proves it. When we say we will endorse, this isn't personal. This is about the people that we represent and having a representative who will show up. I met with two mayoral candidates who reached out to me. Mayoral candidate Shamika Parrish-Wright and Craig Greenberg. Both of them took time in my community. And I spoke with candidate Shamika Parrish-Wright, and I told her I was endorsing Craig Greenberg. And she is still a great friend of mine. I will still support her. Why? Because that woman is powerful. I am supporting and endorsing Craig because he is powerful. And he is committed to me what he will do in District 3 with Algonquin Pool, with affordable housing. You all just saw a press release yesterday with WOKY. Craig showed up and called about the Park Duval residents. That's the kind of leadership I want. So when you talk about an endorsement, I want to see you show up because it is not about me. It is for the people. And so when people look at Councilwoman Dorsey's endorsement, they're not looking at Keisha. Those people who elected me are looking at why did I elect you, and are you supporting someone who will do the same thing, Councilwoman, that you do? Will you get up at 2 in the morning and show up at a homicide call and comfort her mother? I have, and so will this mayor. So this isn't just about a singular endorsement, candidates not getting involved. We have to be involved. Our constituency is on the line. The city is in crisis. We don't have time to placate. This is urgent. This isn't about politics. This is about people.
Any other questions? Well, thank you all so much for coming. Really appreciate it, and have a wonderful day.
Okay, so that concludes the endorsement press conference. 3 representatives here, Nicole George, Cassie Chambers Armstrong, and Keisha Dorsey, all stepping up to speak of their endorsement for mayoral candidate Craig Greenberg. David James, Marcus Winkler, and Donna Purvis also in support, but were otherwise occupied today with their businesses, their duties, and could not be present for the press conference. A question was asked about whether Metro Council members should be endorsing candidates for mayor. And these officers of the elected Metro Council said absolutely. There's no question that individuals have the right to endorse those who they feel will best serve their constituents in their districts. So We will be live at some point again today, I'm sure. So hopefully you guys stay warm, stay in good shape, and we will talk to you soon.